Could it be that Will Smith's latest films are flopping not because of the quality of the work, but because the world cannot forgive him for one explosive moment? Imagine standing at the pinnacle of Hollywood, adored by millions. Every project a success, every smile a headline, and then one misstep, one impulsive action, and everything begins to fracture. Not long ago, Will Smith was the undisputed king of summer blockbusters, the face of charm, talent, and success. From his early days as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where a teenager's charisma lit up television screens worldwide, to commanding box office hits like Men in Black, I Am Legend, and Bad Boys, Smith's rise seemed unstoppable. Audiences didn't just watch his movies, they celebrated them. Studios didn't just hire him, they built entire franchises around him. His presence alone was a guarantee of financial success, and his influence stretched far beyond the screen. Then came that night at the 94th Academy Awards, the Oscars moment that would become the turning point of his career. Chris Rock delivering a joke aimed at Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head due to alopecia triggered something deeper than discomfort. It tapped into years of scrutiny, public expectation, and personal tension. And when Will Smith walked onto the stage, delivering a slap that millions would replay, analyze, and meme, the world gasped. The fallout was immediate. According to the Economic Times, what seemed like a brief moment of rage has spiraled into a $1 billion loss for the superstar. Smith has seen career opportunities dry up, and his marriage is now a fragile, financially motivated arrangement. The numbers alone are staggering. Endorsement deals vanished overnight, projects were delayed or quietly shelved, and Smith's once untouchable brand became a liability. Yet even more than the financial toll, the slap shattered trust, a currency that Hollywood relies on just as much as box office dollars. Fans don't just buy tickets to a movie, they buy faith in the person they see on the screen, in the story the star represents. When that faith is broken, no amount of marketing or budget can compensate. Before the Oscars, cracks had already begun to appear. The Wrap reported on the changing perception of Smith's career, quoting a Hollywood agent, "I think he's mortally wounded. He just cost himself a premium. His brand is permanently tarnished. Other than Bad Boys 4, I think those will all die." Even with King Richard delivering an Oscar-winning performance, audiences had started to feel the fatigue. The same smile, the same heroic persona, repeated across films that once felt fresh. Critics remarked that Smith was no longer acting so much as playing a version of himself. A crafted image polished to perfection, but with little vulnerability, and eventually audiences noticed. The public scrutiny of his personal life began to weigh heavily. The golden family narrative, Will, Jada, and their 3 children, once celebrated as an aspirational Hollywood ideal, began to unravel under the spotlight. Moments like Jada's confession on Red Table Talk about her extramarital relationship, broadcast for the world to see, chipped away at the fortress of perfection Will had built. Even in his memoirs, when he shared the trauma of his childhood, his father's abuse, the fear of not being enough, the haunting sense of inadequacy, what was meant to build empathy instead exposed vulnerability that audiences weren't prepared to reconcile with the hero image they adored. The slap itself became a symbol that the internet would never let him forget. Memes spread, AI deepfakes emerged, and the moment was reduced to jokes, gifs, and viral clips. One image of Will Smith eating spaghetti, distorted and absurd, became shorthand for humiliation. The world distilled decades of achievement into a single, unforgettable instant. And for the box office, that instant has consequences. Pre-sales dipped. Projects that would have been automatic hits face skepticism. Audiences want to buy into a story, and when the story is fractured, sales suffer. Social media and technology amplified the fallout in ways traditional media never could. When people see a distorted version of a star over and over, it reshapes memory and impression, often more powerfully than any PR campaign or public statement could. And yet, not all hope is lost. Hollywood thrives on redemption arcs, and Will Smith has traits few stars can lose: charisma, reach, and undeniable talent. He has begun tentative steps toward rebuilding. His 2025 album, based on a true story, confronts the slap head-on in lyrics that reflect reflection, remorse, and resilience. He has returned to public appearances, including presenting at major awards shows. The question remains whether audiences, studios, and brands will allow him back into the fold, and whether he can maintain authenticity while navigating the shadows of his past mistakes. The Hollywood Reporter summarized it succinctly. Will Smith didn't just lose control for a few seconds. He lost 30 years of a clean-cut image in a single moment. The consequences are still unfolding, and how he responds will define the remainder of his career. Bad Boys, Ride or Die became a critical test for Will Smith's career. Opening to $56 million domestically and $104.6 million globally, the numbers showed that audiences were willing to separate art from controversy, at least within the familiar framework of a beloved franchise. Yet it is important to note that this was not a solo Will Smith vehicle. He shared the screen with Martin Lawrence, and the film leaned on decades of established goodwill and audience nostalgia. While the opening weekend suggested a tentative return to form, full recovery remains uncertain. Studios and fans alike are watching closely, weighing whether Smith can carry projects on his own, or if the safety net of an established franchise will always be necessary. What the box office numbers can't show is the real cost, the psychological cost. Imagine waking up every day knowing millions of people are judging your worst moment. Every interview, every public appearance, every announcement, viewed through the lens of one mistake. Imagine your children having to defend you, your spouse's health struggles becoming public spectacle, your marriage dissected by strangers who think they know the truth. Will Smith has spoken in rare interviews about this journey. Therapy sessions, difficult conversations with family, understanding what trauma, pressure, or fear made him react that way. Experts say celebrity scandals can be devastating. It's not just losing money or opportunities, it's losing yourself. The isolation, the shattered identity, the world turning against you. Some stars never fully recover, even if their careers survive. And in Hollywood, there's no HR, no safety net, just what you can afford yourself. Smith had access to top therapists, PR teams, and legal counsel. But money can't erase time. It can't erase footage. It can't change what happened. Behind closed doors, executives were calculating risk. Will Smith still had value. His talent, fame, and track record were undeniable. But he also represented risk. Insurers worried about erratic behavior. Marketers wondered how to sell a tarnished image. International audiences may see scandals differently. Hollywood is conservative with risk. Studios spend hundreds of millions on blockbusters. They need near certainty. One star losing control live on TV complicates everything. That's why Bad Boys, Ride or Die mattered. It proved he could still draw crowds, deliver at the box office, and be trusted with a big investment. The $405 million worldwide gross was a sign that doors were opening again. But notice this, Smith hasn't yet led a major new original project. No massive endorsements, no guaranteed A-list status. Bad Boys 4 helped, but it didn't restore everything. Smith's story is part of a bigger conversation about celebrity accountability, cancel culture, and redemption. In today's world, social media amplifies every mistake. Digital records ensure nothing is forgotten. Public opinion can change instantly. Fame used to offer some privacy, some time to heal. Now forgetting is impossible. The slap exists forever, ready to be replayed or remixed. Smith faced professional consequences, Academy ban, lost roles, damaged reputation. Financial consequences, an estimated $1 billion lost. Social consequences, public mockery and judgment. Some say he's paid enough. Others say violence shouldn't be forgiven. Many believe redemption is possible, but it must be earned over time. Hollywood is conflicted too. Comebacks are dramatic and profitable, but the industry is risk-averse, especially in an age of heightened awareness around abuse, power, and accountability. Smith has projects in development, though nothing is fully confirmed. He's attached to a Netflix drama, The Council, playing notorious Harlem drug lord Nicky Barnes. A darker, more complex role, Maybe a sign of reinvention. There are whispers of sequels or franchise extensions, like Bad Boys 5. Success is possible, but not guaranteed. Studios are watching, analyzing audience reactions, and measuring social media sentiment. Music is another outlet. In 2024, he released You Can Make It, his first solo single in nearly 2 decades. The lyrics talk about struggle, resilience, and redemption, clearly reflecting his personal journey. Through music, Smith reconnects with the person he was before the public image, showing vulnerability and authenticity. Through all of this, the Smith family has been under intense scrutiny. Jada Pinkett Smith, though not responsible for the slap, continues her public work carefully. Their children, Jaden, Willow, and Trey, navigate their own paths while dealing with the fallout. The family that once seemed to balance public life and privacy now shows the cost of fame. Every conflict, every decision is visible. Normal healing and learning happen under a spotlight. Rebuilding trust while millions watch, commenting, judging is no easy task. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We see ourselves in his story, not the fame or the scandal, but the human experience. We've all had moments we regret. Moments where pressure made us react badly. Moments we let people down. Moments we failed to be the person we wanted to be. The difference? Most of us are forgotten. Our mistakes fade. But in the digital age, for a public figure, there is no forgetting. There's only replay, the permanent record, a single moment that threatens to define everything else. It's worth asking, is that fair? Or have we created a new kind of cruelty? Will Smith's story makes us wonder, how do we measure a life? By its highs? By its lows? By decades of good? Or by minutes of mistakes? Will Smith's story shows that even the brightest stars are vulnerable? Can he come back? Bad Boys. Ride or Die suggests yes, but not to the exact heights he once reached. He can carve out a meaningful second act, one more authentic than the first. Redemption isn't instant. It's earned through consistent action. Success, forgiveness, personal peace, they may all come together over time. We're witnessing a transformation, from untouchable icon to fallible human, from perfection to complexity, from the star who could do no wrong to a man trying to make amends. The next chapter is still being written, and we're all watching. For more deep dives into celebrity scandals and hidden truths, subscribe to Dark Celebrity Truths. Every story peels back layers that can't stay hidden. The truth is always more complicated than it seems. Sometimes that complication is where we find the most meaning. This is Dark Celebrity Truths, where fame hides everything until it doesn't.